Final question for you. You've said that you want the deal with AJ to be done by the end of Monday.
Monday.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, Saudi Arabia. Get this. Tyson Fury at risk of a 200 million pound lawsuit with Saudis determined to hold Christmas Cracker Usyk fight on December 23rd. Wow. Tyson Fury is being pushed by Saudi Arabia into sticking to the December 23rd date for his showdown with Alexander Usyk. The Gypsy King wants to delay the undisputed heavyweight fight until January or February, okay? And his Saudi Arabia paymasters are determined to pull off a Christmas cracker, having planned a whole 6 months festival around it. And Fury is at risk of being sued for the breaching of a $200 million contract if he postpones. On Friday, the Brit 35, Tyson Fury bullishly insisted that Alexander Usyk would have to fight him on December 23rd, saying if he doesn't, then he's breaching the contract and he gets sued. Only a serious injury would enable Fury to push back the scrap, okay? And Fury confirmed he is only suffering surface bruising in his embarrassment of the split decision win over Francis Ngannou on Saturday in Riyadh. The WBC champion jetted back to the UK today and said he was going to spend time with his family less than 2 months before the Saudis want him back in the ring. Pre-fight camps typically last between 8 to 12 weeks. Before his fight with Heathrow, Fury said they'll sort it out when they sort it out. Until that day, don't bother me with boxing. Wow. My counterpunch on this, people, it's simple. You live by the sword, you die by one. You wanted to push Alexander Usyk into a fight, flagging and waving that contract in his face, talking about if you don't show up on the 23rd, we can sue you. But really what it would have been Saudi, not we. Because, see, Tyson doesn't represent Saudi, okay? He doesn't speak for Saudi. He represents it because that's what they want him to do, represent Saudi Arabia to fight. Okay? He's signed a contract for 200 million pounds to fight Alexander Usyk for an undisputed showdown, something that we haven't seen in over 20 years. And you push that in Usyk's face as the word, okay? As the word, you pushed in his face, signed contract. So if you only have surface bruising and nothing else has to be repaired or something of that nature, he got to fight him. Now, will I think the Saudis do that? I don't think they will because they want him to fight. They don't. See, these guys have money. Money on top of 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 money. Money. They have that, but they expect something in return. And not doing that is a sign of utter disrespect. Because, yeah, they're putting their money, to someone that's, life-changing money. And Tyson says, well, hey, don't bother me about boxing until I get ready or whatever. No, you don't do that. You know what I mean? And if that happens, oh, well. You know what I mean? Because you expected Alexander Usyk to. And if that fight was an easier fight, and Alexander had some type of problem, right? Which he does not. Now, he mentioned being injured, right? He has a thing full of injuries. And that might have been why Tyson Fury said what he said. Well, Alexander Usyk, if you don't fight, we could sue you. But we doesn't mean he. We means Saudi Arabia. Tyson Fury can't sue anybody. Saudi Arabia could sue Alexander Usyk for the amount of money they gave him, whatever that was, right? They could sue him for that amount of money because he can't show up on the date. Okay, so if you're trying to insist that somebody else gets locked in, you should insist that yourself get locked in. Lock yourself in. Don't worry about anybody else. Worried about you and that other guy. You know what I mean? But saying things like he said because he had a pretty proper beat down. Yeah, he got beat down pretty proper like in that fight. But that has nothing to do with the fight that you signed. You weren't knocked out cold. You took a beating, sure. You got a bruised face, black eye, you know what I mean? Abrasions, okay. You were in a minor car wreck, but you survived. Now it's time to go back to work. That's what I say. You know what I mean? But again, I don't think they're going to do that because they didn't expect Tyson Fury to sign a contract only to walk away. And I think as far as Tyson Fury goes with this mentality or idea that I do what I want to do, I think that's warranted. I think that's exactly what they should do to get his mind right. So if they do drop that lawsuit down, you better get your ass back into training camp. Leave the cocaine and the beer and the whatever you do, the whiskey or whatever you guys do after you fight. Leave that alone because you got a job to do. And it ain't because you got in a bang up against a guy that you thought that you were going to beat up easy, being that ultimate cherry. But anyway, that's my counterpunch on it. You guys tell me what you think of the Saudi Arabians possibly suing Tyson Fury for breach of contract on December 23rd. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys can counterpunch. Peace.